Today, I'm going to teach you how to improve your thinking in just 3 steps. Welcome to today's episode of the Daily Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Owens, and today we're going to be talking about how to improve your mind in just 3 steps. You know, if you watched the last episodes I did at the end of 2021, where I talked about having a strong mindset and how to do that despite how the world is feeling right now, how you're feeling about it, and how to be more positive, you may have picked up a few tips in those videos. You know, so the state of the world to me is pretty obvious. So the question is, how do we lighten the load so we can think more positively? You know, ultimately, what you don't want to do is you want to feel heavy. You don't want to feel down and depressed all day long. We want to lighten the load and improve our thinking so that we can serve the world around us better. To me, it comes down to how you think and what you focus on. Our minds are like a garden. You can't plant strawberries, for example, and expect tomatoes to grow. It just doesn't work that way. The same way you can't think negatively all day long and expect positive results. Now, understand, what I'm not saying to you guys is don't pay attention to what's going on in the world around you. I'm not saying that. That's not the point I'm trying to make. That's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. You need to be informed, and I support you in that. I do that myself. I stay informed. And I'm not saying don't watch the news. I'm not saying don't find your news on the internet. Don't go on social media. I'm not saying that at all, because, you know, some people actually get their news on social media, and that's fine. If that works for you, that's great. Not everybody does that. The point, of course, is that you don't want to immerse yourself in constant bombardment of negativity. You know, in social media, I'm just going to digress just for a moment here on that issue. And I've done this myself. If you just scroll and you're just looking, but you're not there to post anything specific, you're not trying to connect with someone, you're not doing something specific with your time, you're just kind of browsing on social media, we all get sucked into the black void when that happens. And what happens is it burns all of your time and your energy. And especially if you read comments, right? If you read the comments, they're not all always positive. So what does that do? It brings you down. So you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. I know I've done it before myself, and I've had to pick myself up by the bootstraps, so to speak, just so that I can try and stay positive. So no, that's not the point I'm trying to make. And if you need to stay informed, and that's how you do it, great, absolutely. Just don't let it bring you down. So what you need to do is we need to be clear on what we're consuming in our minds. You need to be clear on what you're consuming as far as information, so you can have more of a positive output. Now, there's 2 things in the human mind. One is positive input. One's input, one is output, right? And we all know that the mind has an input and it has an output, which, by the way, includes how you think. You know, by default, the human mind gravitates toward negativity. Now, I'm going to explain to you the reason why this happens. The reason why that happens is because since the days of humans were hunter-gatherer, it was like 100,000 years ago, we had to remember negative things. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. Like not traveling to a certain place because another tribe member was eaten by a lion, or we saw another tribe member eating berries, and then not long after that, they died after eating the berries. Today, we don't have to live like our ancestors did. We don't want to focus our thoughts on negativity, okay? So instead, try creating your own protection bubble, or dome if you prefer. You decide what comes in and what comes out. You decide what information you absorb and how much and when. And a more positive thought process will help you create a better version of yourself and allow you to impact the world and the people around you as well. So create your own zone or bubble. So why not be in charge of how you think and what you learn every single day? A lot of us, we get absorbed in just everyday life. We're busy with our jobs and families, and we're just being bombarded all the time with information. Not all of it is always positive. A lot of it is, as we know, is negative, and it kind of brings you down. So instead of someone else being in charge of it, why not you be in charge of it? Take charge of that by creating like I said, a positive zone, a bubble, a dome around you. And it's a metaphor, of course, not literally, of course, but it's a metaphor. So you create this thing or this dome around you, so nothing passes through. Meaning, if it's not positive, it doesn't get through, and that's up to you. That's your call. You're in charge of that. It's your life. It's your mind. If you want to be great, you want to be a better person, you want to improve yourself in 2022, you not only need to believe in yourself and have a plan and act on it, but you need to be in charge of the information that's coming into your mind. And that could be for anything from social media to, sitting in front of a desktop or a laptop, or who you hang out with, right? I mean, do you hang out with people who support you in what you want to do, who support your goals, who support your dreams? Do you hang out with people that are negative? Do you spend a lot of time on social media and you kind of get sucked into the void of, the blackness of negativity and people who don't necessarily support you? Okay, then you need to change that, and you will see a significant improvement when you make that change. So when you create that bubble, that gives you control over what's coming in and what's going out. So that way you can be a better you, and you can make a more positive impact on the world. So why not be in charge of that? Okay, that's really important. Why not? Why does someone else have to be in charge of that? Why can't you be in charge of it? Who says you can't? You're gonna let society determine whether or not you're in charge of that? Not me. I'm in charge of it. So here's a question for you. What are you reading right now? What is the news that you're watching? What kind of people do you spend time with? Are you reading for pleasure, meaning like fiction or nonfiction? Or are you reading self-help books? Are you reading personal development books? Are you watching news a lot? Is that bringing you down? What kind of people do you spend time with? Do they support you? Do they love you? Family, friends, whatever the case may be. When you think positive about yourself and your family, friends, and coworkers, you'll have a greater impact on the world around you. Hey everybody, if you like my videos, please take a moment to click on the like button, because that helps with the YouTube algorithms, and I appreciate you. You will find yourself being more motivated to make a positive impact in the world, and you don't have to change 1 million people's lives, okay? You just need to change one person. You only need to impact one person, okay? Am I talking about you? Yes. But I'm also talking about the other person, that one other life that you can change. One person really can change the world. Humans have been proving that for thousands of years, okay? There's been all kinds of people throughout history who have, in fact, changed the world. Now, how'd they do that? Well, if you know your history, you'll know that what they do is they start out by impacting one other person, and eventually it kind of has that, that ripple effect, right? Like you throw a stone in a pond, it has a ripple effect. You change that person, and that person kind of passes along what they learned from you to someone else, and so on and so on. That's how you do that. But it has to start with you, okay? So there's 3 questions that you need to ask yourself, okay? Question number 1, what do I need to stop doing? How about not being on social media? Or do I need to not be on social media as much? Do I need to not listen to the news? Do I need to not hang around people who don't love me and support me? Okay? That's important to do that, because they really do that. All that really has a huge impact on your mindset, right? A huge impact. That's the first question. All right, so question number 2, what do you need to start doing? Do you need to start maybe replacing the time you spend on social media or the social media sites that you spend time on? Do you need to spend more time reading books? Maybe there's a self-help book that you'd like to read. I don't know, maybe it's a sci-fi, maybe it's a fiction book, maybe it's nonfiction, maybe it's a book about history. I don't know, whatever it is. Do you need to spend more time doing that? Do you need to spend more time exercising? That could be it too, right? We all need to do that. Even if all you're doing is walking, even if that's all you're doing, anything like that will make a huge impact on your life. So that's the second question. The third question that you need to ask yourself is, what do I need to continue doing? Okay, what do I need to continue doing? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to start doing? And the third question is, what do I need to continue doing? So do I need to continue getting up early every morning, right? Make my bed, brush my teeth, get ready for work, show up to work early? Do I need to plan my day the day before? What do I need to continue doing? What are the things I need to keep doing that seem to be working for me? So if spending less time on social media works and hanging around the right people works, then maybe that's what you need to continue doing. Do you need to continue reading? Maybe when you get up in the morning, maybe read something. I don't know. Maybe you meditate. Maybe you need to do more meditation in the morning. Maybe in 2021, let's say you spent 5 or 10 minutes meditating, add another 5 minutes. What harm is there? If you spent time meditating, maybe you can add in some simple exercise of some kind, like yoga, tai chi, I don't know, something where there's movement of the body, but it isn't aggressive necessarily while you're meditating. Meditation doesn't always mean sitting still and not moving. You can actually meditate while you're doing simple exercise, not necessarily push-ups, maybe, I don't know, you could do it, I suppose, if you're doing push-ups and crunches, if you're able to do that. Some people can. I mentioned Tai Chi simply because it's a very fluid, very soft, very slow and easy kind of a movement. So if there's something you can do, even if all you're doing is breathing in and out, even if that's all you're adding, maybe add some background music if you're not already doing that. Okay, I've done that before. It's great. You have some very calming background music playing. Your eyes are closed. You're breathing in and out, and you're focusing on your breathing. There you go. You just added something to what you need to continue doing. So what do you need to stop doing? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to start doing? And what do I need to continue doing? And you take the answer to these three questions, you look at your schedule and you decide where do I place this stuff? How do I do that? Like, do I spend more time on Monday doing what are the things I need to stop doing? Do I spend more time on Wednesday doing the things that I need to start doing? You decide where that goes in your schedule, and where you can spend more time or less time on social media, and where I can continue doing the things that I know are the right things to do that will help me have a more positive mindset so that I can have a more positive impact on the world and the people around me. Life's not hard. We make it harder, more complicated than it needs to be. I think about that sometimes, and I know I've been guilty. I've done that. I've made life harder on myself at times. But then again, I'm really hard on myself anyway. I set a very high bar, and that bar comes from having served in the military. It becomes part of who you are, and it's virtually impossible for that to go away, even when you return to the world. It becomes a part of you. So I think a lot of times, we're just hard on ourselves, and we make it hard, and it really isn't. We just have to decide on those three things: what you need to stop, what you need to start, and what needs to continue. And once you decide on those answers, you put it into your schedule, make it happen. Go for it. I think you'll see virtually an immediate improvement right away, especially in 2022. Come on, this is a new year, right? New year means new possibilities. You have to think positive. 2021's gone, it's over with, it's in the history books. Let's focus on doing the right things, thinking right, writing down lists, focusing on steps 1, 2, and 3, and so on, executing them. Make short, simple lists weekly or daily. And just, even if you don't hit all 5 or 10 of them, however long your list is, just scratch out the ones you do get, because you know what, folks? That's a win. And having a win will make all the difference in your mindset. Once again, the better you are, the better you can serve the world. So that's what I got for you today's episode. If you love this episode, please share it with someone you know and love. Please tag us on Instagram. You tag me at Eric Owens Author. Leave me comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, please ask. If you do, I will mention your name on a podcast. Please click on the little bell icon. That way you're notified of any of the new episodes I produced in 2022. Make it your mission in life to make someone else's day better. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing day. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to learn more about how to master yourself, watch this next video.